What's going on, YouTube? Smashing Pumpkin here, coming at you guys with another edition of Fun Deck Friday. So, I was chilling on Facebook, and this guy had posted in a Yu-Gi-Oh group about a deck building challenge, and I don't know. I decided that this looked like a fun idea. He wanted someone to build a deck with 3 black men and 3 black golem. And there's some other part. I only watched half the video, so I don't know. Maybe I'm doing this wrong, but fuck it. We're going to be building a deck around these LEEEGO monsters, and I'm going to talk about them real quick because you might not know what these cards do. First we'll talk about Blackman. He is a rock level 4, 1000 attack, 1500 defense. You contribute this card, special summon in defense position, a number of block tokens equal to the number of turns this card has been face up on your side of the field. These tokens cannot declare an attack. It's kind of but you can't really do anything aggressive with this card, but you can do some pretty awesome things with the tokens. Hopefully I can showcase some cool stuff with that. Next we have Black Golem. It is level 3, 1000 attack, 1500 defense, rock type monster who's level 3. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but its effect is if the only monsters in your graveyard are Earth, you contribute it, and then target 2 level 4 or lower rock type monsters in your graveyard and special summon them. But their effects can't activate on the field during the turn that they're summoned. So this card is actually pretty cool. It's a deck that my friends built a long time ago. Used this card. It's called Rock Stun. So I'm going to be throwing back the old Rock Stun trap team. You could say we're going to rock it, but fuck.
So what exactly am I trying to accomplish with this deck? So I want to use Black Golem to its full potential, and I want to use Black Man to its full potential. Black Man is kind of a card that needs a little bit of love in order for it to do what it's good at, I guess, which is making tokens, kind of. So we play a lot of cards that make it so that Black Man lives. We play the Scrap Iron Scarecrow and the Mirror Force to make sure that it can survive, as well as the field spell Catapult Zone, which is once per turn, if a monster you control will be destroyed by battle, you can send a rock monster from your deck to the graveyard instead. That doesn't just apply for just rock monsters. If you have an Exceed monster out that you don't want to go to the graveyard, you can just send a rock from your deck to the graveyard instead, and then that will be that. And once you get the tokens, you can use the revival effects of Spiritual Earth Art Cure again, as well as the control effects of Black Corn of Heaven. So overall, this does miss out on a couple of the keynotes that Rock Stun does hit, but I think that does what it does very well. So we play the obligatory 3 Golem and the 3 Blockmen, and then we play a bunch of monsters just to get them into the graveyard as quick as possible. So we play the 3 Guardian, the 3 Wall, the 2 Overload, and the 1 Sandman. They're all kind of like Doom Calibers in a way. Guardian negates effects, and Wall negates spells. Sandman is the least important and negates traps. And then Overload is... oh, it can just negate summons in general. Oh wow, that's actually very cool. Huh. Well, I haven't summoned it yet, so maybe we'll see how that goes. And then we play 2 Revival Golem. This card is pretty cool. You use it with your Catapult Zone. This is the thing you normally send to the graveyard, and whenever it's sent from your deck to the graveyard, you can activate one of its effects, either special summoning it or adding it to your hand. Both modes are helpful. If you really need an XYZ then and there, you can always special summon it. You can also add it to your hand, so your Cookie Maru monsters can always have a rock monster to the reveal. That's super important. That's why you play so many monsters. It's so that you'll always have something to reveal for these guys. Because it really sucks when you just have one of them, and you're just like, well, I can't summon you because then you just die. So there's that. 3 Duality, your field spell, and the Terraforming. I do like the 2/2 line. I think that was one of the more interesting things that Patrick Hoban came up with, and I adopt that with most of my field spells. makes it so you can see the most number of field spells but have the least number of dead cards, potentially. 2, Solidarity. I like this card a lot in this deck because you can just summon threats every turn and then just try and deal a lot of damage very quickly. Sometimes it can get in the way and can become dead, but those situations are pretty rare. 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, and then 1 Solemn Warning to stop summons, as well as 2 Black Horn of Heaven. Actually just regular Horn of Heaven, but here we are. 2 Huge Revolution is over. You're normal summoning every single turn, just applying a lot of pressure on the board, so this is helpful so that when you overextend, like, nothing bad happens. To Call the Haunted, to reuse your block golems, reuse your Cookie Mirror monsters, get your XYZs out of the graveyard that aren't rock, so there's that. And Revival and Cure Gain, using your tokens, and sometimes just dodging things. Black Spider is also going to give us an introduction to other cards you can play into the deck, just customizations, I suppose. This card's bad, don't play it, but Grenmole, Legendary Jujutsu Master, Fossil Diana, and Tackle Crusader, all other rock monsters that you can play in the Solidarity build. And then this card's also really weird. It just gets you out of a lot of, like, very awkward situations. It's an out to Jin if you're planning on playing this competitively, and also is like an out to, like, Key Beetle Lock, which is super weird. They can, like, just answer those 2 random things, but here we are. Other Earth monsters that you could play outside of the Solidarity build, you could play Card Cars and Mathematicians and Trap Tricks monsters, all solid Earth monsters. They don't conflict at all with Black Golem because they're Earth, so those are very solid things, very solid options for the deck if you decide not to go with Solidarity. Raigeki is kind of just like a filterish sort of thing. Sometimes you do have problems dealing with, like, super established boards, so this is helpful, but you do have Mirror Force as well, so maybe that's a lot, but who knows. Other things you can do in this build, tributing off tokens is something that you can do for the Sealing Ceremony and banish cards from the graveyard. I didn't think that was nearly as cool as reviving, or just having, like, the immediate impact that these cards have, but here we are. Wing Blast is also something to keep track of because multiple blockmen are really bad, or blockmen and, like, a lot of normal summons isn't, like, super relevant, but also play Starlight Road if you're not playing Solidarity. Dark Bribe is also pretty cool, and XYZ Reborn is just one of my favorite cards in the game. In our extra deck, all the rock monsters that you can find. There's an OCG rock monster that's really, really cool, but I make my decks hopefully TCG exclusive, so that's a thing. And then just, like, some generic good rank 4 XYZs. You can't play rank 3s if you really want to. That's, like, a super weird game state though, so probably not the best idea. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Shout out to the block challenge. Give it a shot. Try and build a deck around these cards. Super fun. Love to see what you guys come up with, and give me suggestions for another Fun Deck Friday, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.